Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you, and today we are taking yet another look at the Grant and Gavin Hawk collaboration with Buck, the 830 Marksman. Now this is a special edition of the Marksman done with G10 handle and S35vn blade. Now if you think you're having a flashback to a previous video, I assure you you're not. That knife had green G10, this one has gray. There are some other differences as well. But let me give you a quick rundown of the history of this knife on my channel. When I first picked up a Buck 830 Marksman, I was super impressed with it. It's a fairly budget-friendly knife. It's very well made. It's comfortable in hand. There's just a ton of things that I really, really like about it. Not the least of which, of course, is that strap lock. Now, little later on, I found out that they were going to do a limited run in green G10 with S35vn blade, and I jumped on it. I got one as soon as I was able to, and the G10 handle was great. I consider it an upgrade, but the blade, despite the fact that the S35vn is great, the blade grind was quite bad. They essentially had tried to do a flat grind, but they didn't give any distal taper. Like they could have, if they wanted to do that, what they should have done was a saber grind, and then it would have worked fine. But they tried to do a high flat grind, almost, they tried to do a similar grind to, say, a Paramilitary 2 or something like that, but they didn't give it any distal taper. Therefore, you had the full stock thickness out here at the tip, and you couldn't properly sharpen the knife. It was just, it was really, really bad. Anyway, I made a video about that as well as, and so did Rob over at the Apostle P channel. We were really disappointed in the knife, and I would say, perhaps I was a little more disappointed because, it was my knife, and because I love the 830 and I was super stoked about having one in specialized materials. So I was really disappointed. Anyway, not that long ago, Steve Ward over at SK Blades contacted me and said, hey, we're doing another limited run. This one's going to be done with a hollow grind. Would you like me to send you one? And I said, sure I would. So he sent this along, and I have to say the special edition S35vn G10 830 Marksman has been totally redeemed, okay? This is a really nice blade. Now, I held off doing this video. I will actually do a full review of it. This is still going to be just a quick first impression, but this is really well done, okay? I've done already some cutting with it. Right out of box, it was just smooth as silk. The action is almost frictionless. It's really, really incredible how this feels. It just has no resistance whatsoever. The Hawk lock, this is actually not a Hawk lock, but the strap lock designed by Grant and Gavin Hawk works really, really nicely, creates a really nice level of detent. You can deploy the blade a bunch of different ways. They all work really well. The G10 is nice. The blade steel in G10 or in S35vn with the stonewash, all of those things are great. So let me grab you some quick measurements here. I mean, you could always go and watch my original video. I think the measurements will be the same. Now the weight will be different. So let's go ahead and grab just a size and weight for you here. So we've got 8 1/4 inches overall. Just over 3 1/2 inches, 3 9/16 on the blade length. Handle length is going to come in at 4 3/4 inches, maybe just a hair more than that. Let me flip it the other way. Nope, 4 3/4 it is. Okay, and finally, let's grab the grip area, since a number of you really like that, and I rarely give it to you. About 3 5/8 on the grip area there on that G10 handle. One last thing before I give you sort of my overall thoughts or my initial thoughts on this outside of the full review. Is it ready? Yeah, perfect. 3.6 ounces, so very, very nice, very comfortable to carry at 3.6 ounces. I don't recall what the weight is on the standard aluminum handled version, but I'll make sure I know that for the full review, and I'll have a number of comparisons for you as well. So if you want to pick up one of these, go to SK Blades. I'm sorry, SK Blades specializes in limited run Buck models. They have Buck 110s and Vantages and this knife and a few others. So if you're interested in that, I would go over there. I will put a link in the description box down below. Thanks for watching. Look forward to my full review on this where, you know, after I've been able to put it through his paces and do some cutting and all of that, I'll see if it can live up to the expectations that I had originally had for this knife, and I will do some comparisons to some other very standard, very well-loved knives like the American Lawman and the Paramilitary 2 and some of those sort of standard knives that we use to measure all other knives. I think this knife is one that can really hang with some other very nice knives because it's very well put together. All right, so SK Knives, thanks for sending this along. It really does look like you've really redeemed yourself on this one, and I'm really happy to see that. For those of you who are watching, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button, and what the heck, you may as well hit notifications as well if you're still sticking around this long. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.